A big hello once again to everyone watching. Welcome back to City Skylines. Welcome back to technically the second part, but I'm going to call this the first part of this brand new town that we founded in Essex County. Now, if you look, yes, the town is slightly different to where we left off in the first part. That is only because my game ended up crashing and I didn't have autosave on. Also, all the buildings are being deleted in this area. Well, there goes my ideas for a scenic backdrop. Okay, thanks for that game. But yes, no. So I tried to recreate as much as what I made originally, and I've got back up to the same population, or vaguely the same population, same amount of money. If we take a look, obviously there are a few differences. I decided to do some things a bit differently because there were a few traffic problems with what I did before. It wasn't very efficient, so I decided, you know what, slap a roundabout in the middle, that'll be more efficient, and then create this like a commercial district here. I had decided to make this area a pedestrianised zone because I didn't know what those did. I hadn't actually played with them before in City Skylines, so I thought it would be fun to play with them, toy with them, see what they do. Oh god, we have horrendous traffic problems already. This is never a good start, but that's fine. We have traffic manager president, I think. Is that what that stands for? Anyway, we have some mods to sort out these traffic problems. Yeah, it would also be ideal if buses didn't block this entire lane of traffic. But again, beside the point in this episode is to expand the city. We have new areas that we can unlock. So we're going to expand to the second tile over here. Add more residential, more homes, places for people to live. Expand our industrial zone a tad. Make it a tad bigger. I don't want to make it too big because then you generate a shed load of traffic, massive trucks, and because this is out in the sticks in Essex, the road connections are not the best. And also the fact that for some reason the map creator decided to use single lane, like town roads as the country roads. So these have a limit of like 20 miles per hour in game, which doesn't make any sense. So the traffic doesn't really understand how to manage with that, essentially. But yes, I will get around to expanding this residential area. Whilst also remembering that I haven't actually created any... Oh no, I did create districts. Apart from over here in this industrial estate. We'll zone this up. Absolutely turn this into just a massive smog-filled part of this city. In fact, since we do need a ton more residential... Not residential, industry, I'm going to use some... yeah, you know what? Go for roads with parking. Expand this area. Try and make it look somewhat presentable. I mean, then again, it is going to be like an industrial area, so it doesn't really matter exactly how presentable it is. Try and not get it all the way up to the railway line, because we will connect it up with a cargo station eventually. Although, in saying that, I'm not 100% certain if I will do that in the end, because that also generates a shed load of traffic, which I don't know if this road setup can support. So there are a few question marks there. But yes, I do also have more mods for this game, as you can see here. I have Warrington's E200 MMCs for this local service, which I feel like justifies them. Although maybe it'll be worthwhile upgrading it to Enviro 400 MMCs, which I have over here. Some First Express branded ones, which are justifying, the routes justifying having deckers. Always a great start. Oh, also, hello, Crazy. So, that's actually a good point. What is the city called? I haven't decided on a name right now. I do have some in my head that I might go for, but I can always leave it up to chat to decide a name. You can put some suggestions down in. Right now, it's just with the default Rockdale, which is, I mean, you know, pathetic. Absolutely boring name. So any suggestions in chat will be welcome. I will take them on board. This also reminds me, should I expand this to a bigger, like, 4-lane road? That feels really, really extra. So I'll expand it up to a 3-lane road, including a bus lane. Although, in saying that, I also don't like the angle that takes. I'm going to create a more gentle curve before creating this straight line. And then I think what I'll plan on doing is then also having another road that connects up to here, like that. Or maybe also turn this over here, because I kind of want the city centre, where all the high density to be around this area over here, across this river. Instead. Once you expand the map by a lot, will also be making smaller villages and, I don't know, one big city. So initially what I plan to do is this entire island will become like suburbs. This will be like the city centre, maybe some more suburbs, and I will do tiny little villages out in the sticks, so yes. But in terms of names, I was thinking maybe I'd go for like something like Pembroke. Some kind of brook, maybe. You know, I don't know. I'm open up, again, always open to suggestions. Do we want that to be like such a right angle? Yeah, you know, that's fine for now. So coming back over to this industrial area, I'm going to smooth that out because that looks horrendous. Zone this like that. Then since this is an oil industry, I'm going to get some oil pumps going, and I've spent all of the money. Let's go cry to the bank, see if they'll give us any loans. I've already taken out a couple of loans. I'll repay this, take out another loan. I have also unlocked high density. That would be useful in future, but at the moment, not at all useful. So continue to expand. Expand this way with some low density suburbs. I suppose that will do. I mean, this is largely just a straight line. It's really annoying how it doesn't... There's like a tiny little gap or a tiny little overlap. No in between. That annoys me slightly. But it doesn't matter. Get this over here. I'd be asking yourself, isn't this a bit boring, all straight lines? And my answer to that is yes, but don't worry, because since we're along the coast, here are some curves to save the day. Since otherwise, yeah, it would be incredibly boring. Actually, this area here I'm going to turn into probably a park, I'd imagine. Zone this straight up. And then have a connection here, another connection up here, with a connection... Actually, you know what? No. Gonna have it connect up down there, like that. Laybrook? I quite like that name, actually, Laybrook. I think I'll name that, I'll name it that for now. Laybrook. Especially considering this is meant to be around the Basildon area of Essex in the UK. I feel like Laybrook is quite an appropriate name. It does very much feel like a sort of name that you would see in this part of the UK. Create some non-straight line stuff because we don't want to be like America, just have grids everywhere. That would be immensely boring. Also, do we have it unlocked? Do we have the bus station unlocked? We do. We have the compact bus station. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this little, like, it was meant to be like a turning point for buses. I'm going to replace this with an actual bus station instead when I have the money for it, which isn't now and it isn't anytime soon, but eventually. Also going to change it so that not every single road actually connects up. Every second one will. Just to help with traffic flow a bit. Get some dead-end streets. And in terms of this park, I think I can add some more stuff to it so I can upgrade its level. What does it need? Oh, it just needs visitors, that's all. You know what? Turn the price all the way down. This might bankrupt me, but you know what? It's worth it to get extra things to attract people. We aren't the US. We don't build 70-mile long straight roads. Nah, what you're talking about? Isn't this the epitome of city design? Just to create one massive grid and then just, you know, call it a day. See, who needs to go to university for, like, city planning? Especially in America. Just play this game for a bit. Just create one massive grid. There you go. And to be fair, you're probably going to be a lot more efficient than, like, 90% of US cities anyway. Because a large majority of them are way too reliant on car infrastructure. They have absolutely no sense of public transport whatsoever. I mean, to be fair, so what I tend to do is, in the suburbs area, I prefer it to be, like, very much free-flowing and curvy, as evidenced by this, where it follows, like, the coast. But once you start getting towards the city centre, I try and make it a bit more uniform, a bit more grid-like, without it being fully grid-like, because I tend to feel like that's how cities, like, work in real life. I mean, obviously, it's all down to local geography as well, and, you know, the shape of the landscape. Because let's be honest, trying to get a grid pattern on, like, let's say, like, up in, where is it, like, Highgate? Like Highgate Hill, an archway, those places that are absolutely hilly. You know, that even if you was, like, a fit 20-year-old, you'd struggle to get up. Yeah. I mean, America sees those and goes, you know what, hold my beer, I am going to build a grid here anyway. And then obviously you have some absolutely bonkers American designs, like in New York, where they have a grid system, and then they also have the old, like, city streets where, or like the original streets that were there before they founded New York, and then they decided not to move them, so you end up having, like, just like a road going at, like, a strange angle through this grid system, which also was what created Times Square. But, like, it just creates weird buildings. Weird shaped buildings on, like, the intersections with that road. Where is industries? Get some more oil pumps. Expand this industrial zone. Also, whilst we're here, might as well zone some more industry as well. In terms of industry, I never put it alongside the main road because that just leads to trucks stopping along here and then backing up other trucks wanting to make deliveries, and then you just create... It's a massive chain effect that you just end up creating. So I try to avoid that, and I just put... just some commercial, to be honest, in the industrial areas. Gives people, like, a reason to actually come out here. It's not very realistic because, I mean, you don't... I say that, I mean... I was going to use blue water as an example, being like, you don't exactly see blue water in, like, an industrial estate, but then again, the area it's in isn't that, like, great, so maybe that was a horrible example. I don't know, the Himalayas in Nepal. To be honest, yeah, no. See, if Nepal was more Americanized, they would 100% try put a grid system in over the top of the Himalayas. Or sod it, put a grid system up Mount Everest. The thing is like, they wouldn't even do that. They put, like, a city there, then they'd be like, sod it, just, like a 16-lane highway straight through the city centre. Is that what peak transit looks like? Absolute America moment, to be honest. Okay, so we upgraded our park to level 2. Therefore, we got some piers. What's this? This is a park. Okay, just a park pier. And this is like a park cafe? Oh no, it's just another different type of pier. You know what? It's fine because this was built over the by the riversides. Actually, the Thames estuary. Which thankfully is upstream from where we're pumping out raw sewage, which is also in the residential zone, so that's not very smart of me, to be entirely honest. I also managed to fix some of the other problems I had last time when I streamed this, where I couldn't actually see the area of effect for like water pipes and some other like park zones as well. Turns out I just had some mods that just broke everything. As per standard, honestly. Yeah, so I feel like what I will also do is once I get some money, I'll also put a central bus station here, since this will be like quite a busy interchange point for the city. Whilst also here, I don't really like the fact that these roads I can't zone along them, so I'll change the road type so I can zone some more shops here as well. Also, hello Nathan. How are things going? Ideally, I'm gonna ban parking. Please don't park here. This is a major roundabout for the city. I don't want to be dealing with insurance claims 24/7. Also, whilst here, I'm going to put a bus-only roads. Which I do... Where was the bus-only roads? Pretty certain there was somewhere here. She might have been in the pedestrianised... It was in the pedestrianised zone. So I want to do that, and then do this, and then just put a regular street in between them, because this is where I want to put the bus station. Even though here, the game is currently screaming about there not being enough space to actually put this here, I'm going to bodge it in here anyway with Move It. And the game can just cry for all I care. And what did that bus just do? Oh, they're using this as a turning point. Huh. Intriguing. Anyway, run the game at full speed for a bit, so that we can gain some money to actually finance this bus station. Don't go into that tab. What I actually wanted to do was... Oh, the game almost crashed there. So we have all this residential zone being built upon, so I will zone this as a new area. And you can always put in suggestions for what you want different zones to be called, what their names will be. This one's currently called Olive Square. Completely useless. Oh, there's a guided busway mod. Also, hello Southern Transport. Is there? I mean, to be honest, I feel like that would be pretty efficient. I have tried doing like dedicated bus only and like bus rapid transport systems in this game, and they have never succeeded. I've always given up with them. I might put a tram system in as well, to be honest, but the problem is the UK roads mod I have doesn't have any roads that have like integrated tram tracks, so I would have to upgrade to the base game road, which is slightly bigger than the ones I have here. And by slightly, I mean, look at how fat it is. We have Americanized the roads. They're so chunky. Actually, these aren't that much bigger. Oh, hold on. So that's a 2-lane one. There's like infinite mods in this game. No, okay, that is true, but like... That is also the reason why I didn't realise that mod existed, is because there's so many mods in this game, I just can't be bothered to look through all of them. I also have like at least 50 mods installed myself onto this save already. I could use just the single lane tram roads, but I kind of want this to have like actually a couple of lanes instead of just one each way, or just one dedicated to trams. Actually, what I might do, I might just run some tram tracks like alongside here, in between the shops instead. Just build a DLR instead of trams. I wish I could do that, but light rail does not exist as an option in this game. Technically, it does exist as an option. I could build trams, but also no. Just no, it doesn't work like that. Where are the tram-only roads? I think these are tram-only, which are also pretty chunky. But it isn't too bad, right? Yeah, it's perfectly fine. So what I will do... Also, these people are complaining about being alongside pedestrianised roads. So what I'm going to do, delete those. For some reason, this guy's complaining about being not in a pedestrian zone, even though he's nowhere near this road here. And I'll delete that as well. Let's have enough money to actually build that bus station. So I'm going to put the compact bus station, put it over here, and use the move it tool to move it over to here. So that it's then in here, and then what we can do is we can move every single route from out here over. So we have this, put this over into the center, put this red route in here, the purple one. The purple one doesn't terminate here, but will allow it to serve this place twice, and then also this pink route kind of does like a one-way loop around the industrial area. So that will create easy interchange. So what we'll want to do is also build that tramway that we started here. What I want to do is build it alongside the main high street in this direction, just going down to here, terminating in probably like, this will be like another residential zone, maybe a bit higher density. Terminate it there, start it probably around here, maybe in the industrial estate, not too sure. Just use railway tracks, pretend they are DLR tracks. Pretty normal tram only road. I mean, typical UK city will probably have around 90 bus routes and 2 tram routes. That's really bold of you to assume that the average UK city would have any tram routes. Trams still seem to be a really large exception here in the UK, and I do not understand why. How am I going to get this to come into here and then like serve this area without making it look too ugly? I think what I'll do, dezone this area, maybe bridge it over, then create like a one-way track loop around there, maybe. And this is on the left, so bridge it up here, get it, turn off the angle snapping because that's going to annoy me. Get it over here, get it across the road, bring it down, without it trying to snap to every single road in existence. This is also a slight tad bit high. Push this back. There we go. Get this to come down. Get it to come down. There was... I did have a mod to change it so that it doesn't snap into nodes. Toggle snap and follow terrain. But that mod, that's one of the mods that broke. Which is really unfortunate. Oh, because now it thinks the slope is too steep. I mean, I can always turn this into like a tram road, I guess. But I'm not sure if that would look great. Turn this into a tram road, then get it to come back up here. Also, I have turned autosave back on, so that's why right now it's frozen the game. Because after losing all my progress last time, I cannot deal with that again. You know what, sod it. Gonna turn that into a tram road. Get this to come down here. It's not exactly the most dashing looking thing I've ever created, to be honest. Okay, get this over there like this. No, I kind of hate that, to be honest. I really wanted to create like a tiny little turning circle in there for trams, but it's just horrendous. I don't like how when you want to go with your road, it does a 12-meter increase or so. Yeah, I don't like that either. It makes the roads really, really tall for no reason. Like here, this can be shrunk by... that's just about clipping that van. It doesn't need to be as high as it is. But like, I don't like this, so I might just... What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to turn it around here. This is just ugly. Where is... There's that road I used, and then go back to the tram tool. Create a little turn-in circle. With angle snapping. Bring it forward just a tad. So that's... So that from here... There we go. Create a little turning circle for this tram service here. And then, you know what, sod everyone who actually lives here currently. They can just sieve, complain, rip double-decker buses, make it go underground, and then put the tram stop underneath. Can this actually... Oh, it can go underground. But I don't think tram stops can be placed underground. That's actually a good question. I just realised I've never actually tried placing a tram stop in a tram tunnel. Because I know for certain you cannot put tram stops on bridges. Actually, I say that, maybe you can now. But I do remember that you used to not be able to do that. Oh, that's slightly too low. That's also the bridge pillar support that I'm actually raising up. That's too high. Rate it so that it's just scraping the top of that double-decker bus. Send this back down. You might be asking yourself, how on earth are people going to be able to get to the tram stops from the main road? It's okay, unlike the Americans, I do think about pedestrian access. I will connect it up to the main road network. And for now, I guess I'll terminate it here. With an aim to probably extend it in future. Get that a bit lower. And then get this as like a little turn-in circle. That looks horrendous. But it's okay because power of move it, I can fix it or make it worse. That either option works. There we go. Turn it into a pretty compact turn-in circle. But yeah, I actually can't remember if you can create stops underground. So that'll be the tram route for now. I do have to connect it up with a tram depot. Which reminds me that I probably should have actually... Might actually be worthwhile connecting it up to the tram depot down here, maybe. or sending it along here. I kind of want to put this in an industrial zone because this is quite loud, or along the high street, but then that's... Ooh, there's no good options here, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send this into the tram depot, actually. Where are the tram streets? Go over here, the tram track streets. Is this one with bicycle lanes? 2-lane road with medium tram tracks and bicycle lanes. I mean, sure. And then connect this over like that, so that there is access, and then put the tram depot along here. Although sadly this game still, you can't actually turn them around in the depot. I still have to put a little turn-in circle, as per usual. Not very thought out, but that's fine, I guess. I'll just make it run along the tram depot. Make this turn-in just not look as horrendous. Create some quite sharp turns, as if this was actually the DLR. And then connect it up back. I mean, ideally I would love to connect it here and like through this street here, but the game, again, doesn't allow me to do that. This creates so many intersections in a small space, of, a small section of roads. Not sure about bridges. Yeah, now that I think of it, I don't think you can build... Yeah, on bridges you can't. So I'll put a stop here. Have I done this the wrong way? Yes, I have. Hang on. Oh, and now it's going to complain about this being... I don't know, colliding with something. Okay, can I turn this... There we go. And now undo everything I just did there, so it doesn't look absolutely horrendous. Change this back into a regular road, ideally. There we go. Okay, and whilst we're here, I'm also gonna allow cars to go into these intersections, even if there is already another vehicle there, because otherwise traffic will back up so badly along here. Okay, so one stop over there, one over here. Also, yep, you can't put stops on bridges. One here, one here, one over here, one there, one after this bridge, one here, and then one all the way up here. Put some stops in between. Put that there. Put that there. Put that there. Put one here. Put one in between here. Just after the bridge. And then one all the way up here and then back around. So, very quickly, since we have already demolished a large majority of this high street, gonna put some turn-in circles pro. Yeah. Somewhat. Might actually make this a bit of a tighter turn-in circle, to be honest. There you go, so it's just taking up a bit less space. There you go. And then also put the pedestrian access. So the first stop is here. You can reach that vaguely from here, I suppose. But I'll put a pedestrian, pedestrian road right through here, just so you can access that. And then the next stop is over here. Put another pedestrian road through here, since there's no zone in there anyway. Another pedestrian road here, and then also alongside the tram tracks there, so you can come from this road, and then go into the trams. One here, another here, some more here, one over here, one connecting up to this road as well as this road. and then you can walk on through from here, and then connecting up to here. Which actually also reminds me, probably worthwhile putting it in the opposite direction as well, down to the houses. So that you can walk all the way through, and you can walk home from the trams, giving it as wide appeal as possible. There we go. Perfect. And then now also going over to this tram route, replacing the vehicles with, where are they? Metrolink M5000s, which will come straight out. Here they are. Ready to start service on our new tram network. Also staggered stops, I like the creativity. Yeah, I just honestly do that just for maximum coverage. So this right now doesn't serve much of a purpose, but that's only because there isn't like an not industrial, but like a residential zone down here, which is where I plan on the terminus being eventually. And this will be higher density, so people who need to go into work in this industrial zone could quickly take the tram into work instead of taking their car. That's the idea anyway. We'll see if people actually use it like that. And on the first tram, there's already 5 people. Hopeful start, I feel. They've all gotten off here. No one's actually going down into the bus station. Unfortunate. Get those stops there. These people are complaining about not being in a pedestrian zone, even though, for whatever reason, they're on a regular road. So that's a bit annoying. Then over here, we have so much demand for industry, which is absolutely unfortunate. So I'll expand this island again, I suppose, with some more workplaces, some more warehouses. Get Amazon's Gigafactory over here. Get that zoned there. Stick to my philosophy of not putting industry along the main roads. I'll put some shops, more of a reason to actually get people to come down here. Then we have this route, which I will probably change, I feel. This one as well might be changed slightly, or I actually might introduce a new route. So in terms of usage, there's 120 people waiting here, which is not a good start. There's another 49 here and another 113. So this needs a couple more vehicles. 8 more. In terms of this route, I'm going to change it just a tad, ever so slightly, just so that it pops into here, comes down here, runs along here, before coming up here, and then just turning around here, and coming back on itself. And then stopping one more time on the island before going up into the city, and then creating a new route, which will run from our central hub down alongside this street into here, maybe? I want to try reduce like copying other routes, but then also kind of want to serve this area a bit more before coming back down here and then coming up here. There isn't much scope to do that with, without expanding, without buying this area, so I'll buy this area. We're here, we might as well make use of it in terms of that. So from here, I'll get it to turn straight into this road. Come down here, follow down here. This road's at a bit of a wonk. Get it to come up here. Okay, maybe not like that. Like that. Not get every single road to connect up into this. Again, just for traffic flow. That's... I mean, to be honest, that turning up here, it might as well... It's a bit... it's whatever. It will do. Get that into there, and then from here, can expand it over here. Add some more zoning. More places for people to live. And then because we're kind of out in the sticks, it's okay if this isn't like the highest of densities. Do more free-flowing roads instead of grid patterns. We're not looking to cram them in here like sardines. And then get this road down here as well to follow up. Get one there. Okay, so continue on from where we left off with this stop over here. Turn this over down into here, serving here, and then coming up here. Up this road. Turning up into here. Through here. Cutting through down here, and then coming back down alongside this coast. Before then turning over down here to come into this industrial area. And then it will go alongside the shops, the high street that's here, before making its way back. And I feel like this will be a pretty well utilized route. Get that all the way over here, down here, through here. Share a stop with this route. And then share the stop with this route before coming straight back down into the bus station. And because I feel like this will be pretty well used, I'll put some first platinum MMCs onto it. Not enough bus stops. There should be one every 2 houses. I usually agree, however, because this is low density zoning, I can't justify putting a bus stop every single 2 houses. There's not enough people per house to justify that. What I tend to do is, when it's high density, I'll put a bus stop like every single like road node. Like over here, you see there's one here, one here, one here. When it's low density, what I tend to do is, instead of doing this, I'll put one every second node instead. Because that I find like is the perfect... it has a perfect catchment area for low density zoning. But also I can't put like stops any more frequently than this. Than one every single road node. This area is also kind of ugly up here, but it's fine. So in terms of schooling, elementary school, we do not really have the capacity. So we're gonna add, because I want this to be kind of a bit high density, but not like skyscraper high. I'm going to start putting higher density buildings down here. So I'll put this elementary school here, and then also the high school kind of next to it. We do need to bring power down here though. So I'll get that running alongside this road for now. I would kind of like to also zone some offices, but I don't want them to be high rises. So I will probably put it alongside this road down here. So zone this here. In terms of policies, go to city planning, and I cannot ban high rises just yet. That's unfortunate. But I'll also put the zoning in for this area that I want to do eventually. Also, I'm not sure why did the trams just come out again? Oh, you know what? It's because they didn't have power. The depot didn't have power. That's why. Also, yeah, rip. So Madison Heights, we're not going to call that. Going to call it Lay Square, which is what this area will become eventually. We'll put high-tech housing whenever that's available, whenever we unlock that. In terms of policies, I'm going to put wall-to-wall residential buildings, also self-sufficient buildings. Oh, we can't put both. Okay. Got me there, game. Put that over there. So, in terms of this zone, I've boxed myself into a dead end kinda here. That's unfortunate. Hold on. So in terms of the tram tracks, just make free public transportation and ban vehicles. I can do that in terms of I can put public transport to be free, and I kinda can ban vehicles. However, what that ends up happening is that is extremely expensive and will bankrupt the city. But that's fine because I just put public transport pretty much everywhere in my city anyway, and encourage cycling and try to do everything to reduce how effective it is to drive in the city. And that tends to work. People tend to prefer to actually take public transport instead of driving in all my saves. Oh, are you serious? Okay, get that to run alongside the depot like that again. Curve this more into the actual depot here. And like this down here. It's very much, so it looks like it's part of the depot. And then in terms of this roads layout, put this down here. And since this I do want to be more like a, not really a prestigious area, I think that's the wrong word, but you definitely call the people who live in this area like snobs, that's for certain. You know, the type of people who think they're better than you just based upon where they live. Put this like down here. And how fitting that looks a bit phallic. Bankruptcy Chapter 11. Yeah, you know what, to be fair, most UK cities should just be named that, because that's what they end up filing for anyway. Actually, to be fair, you do say that, but that is actually mostly... Okay, mostly American cities, but then also I remembered Croydon Council did actually file for bankruptcy, so... Yeah, there is some truth in that, to be honest. That over there like that, and then this will be wall-to-wall zoning. Brain had a moment there, couldn't think of what I wanted to say, what it was actually called. That, get that over there. Yeah, nice new, oh, nice one, new subscriber here. Hello, Will. Champion of the buses, eh? Especially because trains seem expensive. You know what, funny enough, in every single one of my saves, my buses actually tend to make money, and my public transportation is always on the brink of being profitable. But the thing that always lets me down is always my trains. My trains just hemorrhage money because it costs so much to maintain like the infrastructure for them in terms of train stations and all the sorts. I mean, the metro service also kind of is like on the cusp of being profitable, but my train service is always just horrendously unprofitable, even if it's like well utilized. Also hit population of 8,000, that's fantastic. Can finally put the policy in to ban high rises, which we do need because I want to start putting some office zones, because I don't want to build any more industrial areas. Those just generate way too much traffic. I mean, granted, we don't have like a university in the city yet, so I don't really know who these officers are going to hire, because our city is a bit dim-witted at the moment. But you know what? That's a problem for them to deal with. I've just zoned officers there. They've decided to build. Good for them. That's all I can say. But also, how much money do we have? We have 150,000. I'm going to do what I said, and I'm going to replace this also with a bus station, because I want to build a new bus route from here. So this will also turn into a bus station down here, so that I can get, so I can put both of these routes. Okay, that is not what I want that route to do. Ideally, I would love it for them to be able to turn around here. So I'll put this node up here and then go into traffic manager. I cannot edit to that node. Hang on a minute. Go over here. I think I should be able to edit it now. Okay, yep. Add it so that they can U-turn here, because I would really like it if the buses, you know, weren't doing that. Okay, so create a new... Okay, all right. For a second there, I thought it was still just going on this massive detour. What's my favorite type of bus? My favorite type of bus would definitely be an N94 Scania Omni-Decker. Sorry, not Omni-City. Although the Omni-Cities were pretty nice as well. I just... A special place in my heart for the Omni-Deckers. Anything Scania related, to be honest, I do just really, really like. So send this bus route through here, into here, and then probably send it via this like snobby posh area. I can't imagine these people will readily use the bus all too often, but you know what? Might as well give them the option if they want to. Try do a TFL where you just extend bus routes into brand new housing estates, mostly ones that haven't been built yet. But that doesn't matter. Imagine all the potential passengers you would get if you could run a reliable service, but we're talking about TFL here, so tough. Create a new service as well that will run alongside here and then run straight up and then turn left onto the high street over here. Run alongside the high street for a bit before popping back into the residential zone down here. Coming through here. Maybe it would be worthwhile actually coming up through here. But I mean, to be fair, I've made like a massive U-shaped route in doing this, but that doesn't matter. That's fine. Get a few stops along here, along the high street again, so that people don't have to drive here. We're not going to do it in America, forcing them constantly to drive to like mega shopping centers. That's not going to happen. Okay, so these two new routes, this one over here, we're going to put probably I think the ADL E200 demo bus. And then on this one, which I suspect might be slightly busier, we'll put probably the Riva Sapphire MMCs. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. What's your... Oh, Scania or Volvo for me. You know what? I would agree with you. I tend not to be that much of a fan of Volvo, but I do like their earlier stuff, and I have kind of grown... It's grown on me, like B9s especially. I don't like their modern stuff. I do not like B5s. As much as sometimes they can be interesting, I just find them a bit dull, a bit boring. I mean, it's criminal to say, but like it's just so true, sadly. Put some more police stations down. Put these over here. And then we have ourselves growing suburbs. Also, hello, Aaron. America, hold my automatic cars. Yeah, see, we're here in Europe. We don't do that. We actually spend money and fund a reliable public transport system instead. Speaking of which, I am probably going to change this road so that buses do not block up traffic whenever they pull into bus stops. There we go. Oh, there's also a dead person at the high school. That seems a bit unfortunate. Oh, I think someone's overheated whilst doing PE. I love the YJ04 buses, and I hate the street deck and street lights. Oh, why did you have to remind me of their existence? Yeah, no, honestly, I absolutely hate with a passion modern day right bus products. Street decks are horrid, streetlights are even worse somehow, which, I mean, doesn't make much sense because a street deck is basically just a street light with an extra deck on it. That's all it is, it's the same engine. But somehow streetlights are just that much worse. Okay, so in terms of... We can also put some monuments down, to be honest. Because we're going towards the city centre, I might start putting some bigger buildings down here. Also, definitely going to get the stadium here. This is also probably where I'm going to put like a train station. Maybe a central train station, but I do still want to leave this area here as the proper city centre. So I'm not sure entirely how I'm going to deal with that. Also, yeah, Dead High School doesn't sound great. Buses have gone to shit now. Everything is EV spam. So yeah, you definitely live in London then. 100%. Thankfully, I've actually managed to move out of there. I don't live in London anymore, so I don't have to put up with the EV just copy and paste everywhere. We'll put a nice little city arch. This is where the city begins. Also upgrade our road network here. Probably turn this into like a dual carriageway. Also, oh, hold on, no street lighting. Ideally with street lighting, don't want people to crash. Although this is now complaining about not having road access. There we go. So in terms of this roundabouts, what is... Okay. Interesting shaped roads. Why? Why is this two separate nodes? I don't feel like that needs to be two separate nodes like that to create a roundabout. So you can just do that and then put this over here and... Oh, it still creates two nodes. This game confuses me sometimes. I'll create like a... free lane. There you go, free lane highway roundabout. Motorway, sorry. I am British, I should know better than to call it a highway. What is... Okay, that's just interesting. Let's put it like that. But yes, also, so there's more in commercial demand now. I suppose we could put some shops. Actually, we still do have this area over here, which I do want to turn into like an entertainment district for the stadium. Glad I drive manual transmission. Now I drive so I could care less about EV stuff. Hey, that's true as well. And also high five for actually learning how to drive manual. Again, something the States just has no idea on what even that means. What is a manual? They call it over there a stick shift, which is just, sure, I mean, that's one way to describe it. Put that over there, then when you go over here with the... I kind of want this a bit closer to like the sea. And then it to be surrounded by... Actually, no, this is... I'd say this is probably good. Like this. And I kind of want to turn that into like a one-way three-lane road, though. Not like that, because that removes zoning. Let's also remove zoning. That's kind of unfortunate. Okay, leave it like that for now. Probably, maybe. Might change that. Not sure how I feel about this. To be honest, I take the bus so rarely, I don't even know if they're EV or whatever. I mean, yeah, no, that's a fair assessment of it as well, to be fair. I just know about the EV stuff because it's a requirement now for TfL. Every single new contract or tender they put out pretty much mandates EV buses. If not EV, then they'll be hybrids, with conventional diesels being phased out. So that's how I know that pretty much everything in London is going it is going to EV. Because you understand the pain I have to go to see street deck and street lights. Now trust me, I know the pain about street decks because Brighton has an entire fleet full of them, and they go on the most unsuited routes for street decks possible. Like, I don't like them at the best of times, but I understand why operators like buy them for city routes, because I think that's where they're best suited. But by God, why did Brighton and Hove put them on like their coaster routes? I actually have a recent video up on that. It's just absolutely pathetic. Also, EV, you can tell by the reg plate, yeah, because EVs have the green little square next to them to signify that they're electric and non-polluting, even though, I mean, let's be entirely honest with ourselves, EVs are not that green for the planet, especially in terms of making the batteries for them and then having to dispose of them afterwards. I feel like that's going to be a massive thing in a couple of years. Everyone's going to realise, like, balls. Actually, as it turns out, this green EV stuff isn't as green as we thought it was. What I'm going to do, actually, is I'm going to change this into a tree-lined road to put this stadium onto. So I need 200,000. Kind of want to, like, make it central, so probably here, I think, would be a good point to put this, and then I'm going to move the roads around it. Have you been to Leeds? They have way too many street decks. I have not been to Leeds, but I have seen the amount of street decks they have up in Leeds. Yes, Leeds is absolutely horrendous for street decks. And on top of that, unfortunately, you have to put up with first bus operations. To be fair, Leeds is one of their better areas, I tend to find, because they actually make some form of money in Leeds, so they actually put care into their operations there, whereas in other parts of the country, cough cough Essex, they don't really care, unfortunately. Put that over there. Zone that all the way over to there, and then maybe put a bridge here just so that traffic from these industrial zones don't have to go through the city centre in order to leave the city. So it goes up there over the motorway to join up onto the motorway like that. This just helps with traffic flow. And then like expand this industrial zone just a tad. Just one bar bigger. Put some zones up there. Continue this main road with the bus depot blocking that, so move that over there. Move this up here. This will eventually continue on probably into the city as well. Put in some more industrial in these areas. Over here, over here. So expand the areas of pollution. And then have some commercial alongside here. Which does remind me that I'm probably going to have to expand the pipe network. Which is also at a strange angle. Don't know why I decided to do it like that. Apparently Brentford are given right Gemini free buses to E2 and E8s. I think that is correct off the top of my head. I cannot remember. I'm pretty certain they are going to get brand new, not brand new, but probably existing hybrids. So yes, I'd want to say. Again, off the top of my head, don't quote me. I might be wrong. There is a large possibility of that. Get those over there. This entire area isn't zoned, so I'm going to zone it. Large majority of that, just to make sure I don't put zoning on this main road over here. Get this over like this. This is another large population centre that requires a bit more of a bus route than what I've currently provided. So I'm going to create one that goes from here up till here, through here, comes down through here, goes here, goes through a large majority of this new housing estate. I kind of don't want it to go via there, but I don't really have much of a choice. So I'll connect it up there like that, put the bus stops down here, put this over here, make it go via the motorway for some fancy route running. Oops, okay, so I can't actually put a stop there. Make it serve the main bus station and then pop it back straight out. Serve these areas before coming back on itself. And right now, this route will absolutely carry not a soul, but in a little while, eventually, hopefully, when this area actually builds up, it will probably be useful. I hope. We'll see, we'll see. This will also probably just get some E200s. Put the Stagecoach Gold ones on this route. Also change the colour of it so I can actually see it more easily. Make it a black colour. Change this one. This one I can leave blue. But this one over here I'll change into an orange colour. I did also have, used to have the auto colour mod. I don't know what's happened to that. I think that broke as well. This tram route's not really doing much, but that's okay. Didn't expect it to. And then, London, do I drive? Yes, I do drive. Miss when the 113 had the tridents. I do miss that as well. I actually managed to catch one of the tridents on its very last day, actually being on the 113. Not before it was withdrawn. It wasn't withdrawn afterwards, but it just never did the 113 afterwards. Got a pretty good run from it. Okay, so I have 200,000 to put the stadium. So in terms of the stadium, I'll put that up like that. And then I'm going to readjust everything. So put this tree line road like that. Get this probably just like that. Doesn't really hug it enough. That doesn't... Okay, so I do have to put it like that. That's not enough. That's also not enough. So that I can then put these bus roads all around it. Not like that. Not like that because that looks horrendous. Yep. Put that a bit hard. Can this? Okay, nope. Put it like that. So then this is like major roads all around the stadium because you do expect there to be quite a significant volume of traffic coming to here on match days. However, we're going to counter that by having very good public transport links to here in the form of train stations, metros, and buses. I think in Germany, EV cars have an E at the end of their registration plates. See, sadly, in the UK, we have to make it really bleeding obvious whenever you have an EV because people will just end up being incredibly stupid otherwise. So they just put a green box in the registration plates to indicate that it's green. I know, it's pretty dumb, but then again, what UK policy isn't? You know what? I'm gonna get this to go around like this as well. Might also be worthwhile actually making these, instead of them being 90-degree angles, actually get it to curve around this stadium, but that will also involve the Move It tool. This will be kind of hard to do. Probably put it like this and then create like a curve here to connect it up like this. Now this looks absolutely horrendous right now, but I will correct it by moving this all the way over here, moving that back there, and then with this being a straight line, I can put just a bit back, a bit like that, and then get this to curve around the stadium like that, so that it looks like it's, you know, actually the stadium was built around the road, or the road was built around the stadium. Probably also do the same for... Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh, actually, no, I can build a road straight out from here. Perfect. Get this to drive alongside there. AH is next to my house. Eula's destroyed the Trident's era. Eula's also made me buy a brand new car. Thankfully, my car is ULEZ compliant, so I don't need to buy a new one, even though it is a 16-year-old petrol. We ignore that. If TFL says it's compliant, then it's compliant. Get that to run alongside there. Get this. Oh, why has it done it in two? It's going to make it a lot more awkward to actually bend it around here. There we go. That works. Kind of looks horrendous. Just a tad. Mostly because it's not very much like a straight line, and it's... I feel like this side is a bit off. Now this side looks a tad off. That will do. And then I'll do the same on for this road over here. Get this to curve around here. So that it's like a massive dome like shape. Dear Lord Essex, did I ever point a gun to your head whilst you was deliberating whether or not it is default? I'll be entirely honest. This is one of the only UK maps for this game. So yes, in some senses, I did have a gun held to my head whilst making this decision on what UK map I wanted to play on. It's actually also not one I've ever actually properly done, because who actually willingly wants to play and pretend to, you know, be in Essex. Yeah, that's probably good enough. 16-year-old car, you must have recently passed your test. What's that? How? What? That's what I did when I passed at 17, just got a banger car. I mean, you're not wrong. But also, well, yeah, okay, you know, I can't really debate with that. Yeah, you're not wrong. Look, okay, it's a project car, that's how I put it. And by project, I mean, dear Lord, it requires a lot of work. What have I gotten myself into? Extend the tram to the stadium. Yes, that's a good idea. Never been to London, but it sounds stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the ULEZ was just like a ultra-low emission zone in London that they decided to implement. Also, actually, I'm going to extend the tram down here, where basically it was mostly targeted towards diesel, because as I said, my 16-year-old petrol is like perfectly fine. Going into the central London zone. There we go. There's the tram extended there. But yes, it's diesels have to be Euro 6 or newer, or EV, and petrols I think Euro 4 onwards. Off the top of my head. Sorry, Essex is one of the only options. Did I get lost on the way to London? Pretend to play in Essex, try living there. No, I'm going to be entirely honest. I've been to Essex enough times to know that I would rather never live there. Literally anywhere else, I would rather be in North Korea than live in Essex. Okay, so in terms of the trams, I mean, to be fair, in Essex you don't really get Metrolink trams. Okay, so get the tram running through this new area, serving the same stops as the buses, taking this one-way route around the stadium, which again I will also turn into like a leisure complex. Put this over here, new zone, Foggy Hills. What a bleak name, fitting for an area in Essex. In terms of taxation, nope, wrong tab. Want to go over here and then probably put wall-to-wall commercial, and then is it leisure or is it tourism? I think it's tourism. I think that's where you get the hotels. I also don't particularly want high-rises either in this part of the city, not just yet, so I'm going to ban high-rises, whilst also putting some... Actually, no, the shops and hotels will probably be around the main centre complex, so it'll be all around here. And then on the outside, I'll just put a bit of high density. Actually, I say that. I can do high density with low density commercial, not commercial, residential. You're lucky if a bus even turns up. Oh, don't worry, I've got a few friends who work for First Bus in Essex. I know. Not naming any names, but let's just say, you know, she's your average first bus driver. Put it that way. Also put wall to wall. There we go. So, and also this bus route, might want to extend it down to this new like leisure district, I suppose you'd call it. I do still want it to serve here, so what I'll do instead is I'm going to do a TFL, reroute it, so send it into here, so it goes past... What on earth is it trying to do? Okay, so it goes past the tram depot, serve this stop again with the trams, serves up here, and then goes around into the inner circle over here, goes out onto the main streets, onto the high street, then goes around the inner circle before coming back down and serving this part and then serving out here. Like that. I mean, it's a bit inefficient, it tucks into here, but we ignore that. Did you pass at 17? No, I passed a bit later than that. But I will say I did manage to pass first time, which isn't much of an achievement, but you know, same can't be said for some other people, actually, I should say. Oh, that has still kind of done high density, and I don't really want it to be that high. That's a bit of an issue. And one I suspected would crop up because the leisure tours, the leisure specialization for commercial tends to put high-rise like hotels, which doesn't really fit in with like this area because it's going to stick out because it will be all low density until you get here, and then suddenly high-rises. Oh well, might do a North Korean bus company on City Bus at some point. Actually, that would be really interesting trying to do Pyongyang. Rip, I can't wait for a bus for 1 minute, so I get so pissed when I get delayed. I mean, honestly, I used to be kind of the same, and I feel like in London we get a tad bit spoilt, to be honest. Gonna change the city team colours to blue. Light blue. But yeah, no, in London we definitely get spoilt in terms of that, in terms of frequency. That's just one of the things that now I've grown used to. I'm like, I don't mind if a bus is like delayed by a couple of minutes. When it's entirely cancelled and I have to wait 10 minutes for the next one, or I just miss one by a couple of minutes, yeah, then that gets on my nerves and does piss me off a bit. But you know, that's far and few between. He smiles through gritted teeth. Put some more garbage incineration capacity. But yeah, no. So with this brand new sporting arena that I've built, this new like entertainment district with our little Metrolink M5000s running alongside, I feel like this will be a good spot to end this episode, this part of City Skylines. I thank everyone for coming this far. If you made it this far, always make sure you give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't already, because I do City Skyline videos at least once every single week. I also do City Bus Manager videos. I also stream. Sorry, I should correct myself. They're not videos. OMSI 2 videos, yes. And also Transport Fever 2 videos. But once again, I thank everyone for getting it this far. I hope your day or your evening goes well, and I'll see you in the next one.